I'm cutting across live now to the Karnataka Education Minister, Mr. BC Nagesh, is joining us on this broadcast. Sir, what's been playing out over the last few hours in Karnataka is extremely worrying because in many college campuses now, protests have broken out. You've got students turning up in hijab, some others in saffron shawls. What is the government doing to address this problem, reassure students and ensure that education of these students doesn't suffer?
Yeah, definitely what you are saying is right, madam. Unnecessary, some few miscreants have started disturbing the atmosphere. It was only an issue of one college in Udupi. Even as we know that there are 9 PU colleges in Udupi, it was a small incident of 6 girls who wanted to put their hijab and come to the classes. But according to the Karnataka Education Act and Rule 11, no student can come inside the school without uniform. So when the principals insisted that they should follow the rule of the school, they protested, and they were protesting only in Udupi. They protested, and our departmental staff and even the honorable MLA of that area tried to convince the students, and they were about to be convinced. And initially there were 10 to 12 students who were wanted to put hijab, but immediately when our MLA convinced them, all students came to the classes with uniform prescribed by that college. But only 6 students were protesting. But in first week of February, when some political forces intervened in issue,
one side Akshita, one side Nagesh. Mr. Nagesh, who are these political elements you're referring to?
Yeah, it was, I heard that, and I read in some newspaper and some report that one CPI and PFI, which is an student organization of PFI, is involved in this. Initially they had been involved, but they found they were not successful. They were unable to convince the student. As I said, out of the 9 colleges, only 6 students of one college were demanding this, and all other colleges where hundreds of that particular community girls are studying, all followed the uniform and the discipline of the school.
So you're saying, sir, and this is a big charge you're leveling, that the PFI is involved. Is there going to be an investigation into that by your government?
No, I'm not charging PFI, but I heard that PFI is in the background of the whole thing, and we have asked our Home Minister to go into it. Definitely they will investigate and will find out who is the culprit and who want to destroy the total atmosphere of education, and also the atmosphere in Karnataka.
There are some pictures, sir, that India Today has also accessed from last year, from the same university, from the same PUC in Udupi. This was in Kundapur, where the entire controversy began. And in these pictures from last year, all students are seen in uniform. There's not a single student wearing hijab in any of the pictures. From last year to this year and now, what do you think has really changed that led to this protest now?
It is, again, according to me, there are some organization, Muslim organization, which doesn't want ladies to study. They doesn't want the girls to be well educated and become independent. So they tried their best to see that girls doesn't attend colleges. But when they failed, when students started coming to the colleges and being educated, they felt that there is such method has to be introduced so that the education of that particular girls will be disturbed and they will leave the colleges. So their ultimate purpose will be served.
Mr. Nagesh, also, what's happening in the Karnataka High Court is that there's been a demand, which is that there's just 2 more months for the academic year to end. Why not allow the students to wear hijab and finish their education?
See, education is the institutions are not the place of worship. They have to follow the discipline first. Students, we should teach them the discipline, and the purpose of education is to create brotherhood among all the citizens of the country. They should feel that they are one. When we allow the practice of dharma in the schools. Now they may ask to the hijab will be allowed. Next they may ask us that we have to pray 5-day Quran, 5-day namaz in the school. Then they may ask that on Friday it has to be closed. Where we can stop all such things. So the uniform is not only for a Muslim student. Uniform is for all the Indians who want to be and who want to follow the discipline in the colleges. We as a government, we are bounded by to rule according to the act and rule of the department. I have taken the oath that I will see that brotherhood and oneness among the students will be followed. Patriotism will be developed in the education institution. So I cannot disturb the main aim of the education.
Finally, sir, your message to opposition parties who've been saying that, this government is targeting one religion and targeting Muslim students.
The whole country now knows which government were appeasing one community for which purpose. They did not give an equal right to many things. Still now, many field is not being given the in many fields the ladies are not being given the opportunity, whether it is a Muslim or thing. But after Modi, many such things have been coming up. So they are feared that the vote bank of their party, which were for years, may be broken, and they may think and vote according to their own consciousness in future.
Okay, Mr. Nagesh, thank you for taking the time out and speaking to us here on India Today. So you've got the Karnataka Education Minister there stating that there perhaps was a conspiracy that's involved in this entire case that's led to this situation where you're seeing all out protests, where you're seeing agitations playing out across the state of Karnataka. Pooja, I'm tossing this back across to you in the studio.
Thank you so much. Akshita Nandagopal asking quick, crisp questions from the Education Minister, how the situation is going to be resolved. He's alleging a conspiracy. He's stating that they look into it, but all of this, remember, is important while court hearing is underway, that the situation should not go out of control, and these are students who should be focusing on their exams, not really throwing these religious issues at each other at this